The secret files that were never meant to be read. There are places in this world where the truth is not buried, it's locked away, hidden behind steel doors, encrypted codes, and silence bought with fear. Some call them classified archives. Others call them something else. Forbidden knowledge. In 1989, a government archivist named Elias Moret stumbled upon something he was never supposed to see. A dusty folder, marked only with 2 words, "Do not open." Inside, he found reports of human experiments, mind control, perception manipulation, and psychological censorship. Every page felt alive, pulsing with the kind of truth that bends reality itself. And as Elias read further, he began to realize, these weren't ancient files. They were active projects. Days later, Elias vanished. His apartment was empty, except for a single note on the table. The truth was never meant for everyone. Some files should never be read. What he found still echoes in secret corridors of power. Because the real danger isn't what's hidden. It's what happens when someone dares to look. You are about to enter a world where truth and madness are the same thing. A world built on silence, shadows, and control. This is not history. This is the part of history you were never supposed to know. The secret files that were never meant to be read. Welcome to Hidden Stories and Forbidden Truths. The man who opened the forbidden file. It was 1989. A quiet night inside a government records building no one remembered existed. Rows of dusty cabinets, flickering lights, and a man who had spent his life surrounded by other people's secrets. His name was Elias Moret, an ordinary archivist, silent, disciplined, invisible to the world. He was the kind of man no one would ever notice. Until the night he opened the wrong drawer. While sorting through decades of forgotten documents, Elias came across a plain brown folder. No official seal. No signature. Only 2 words, written in trembling handwriting. Do not open. At first, he hesitated. He'd seen confidential stamps before, top secret, restricted, for authorized eyes only. But this felt different. It looked personal, almost afraid of being found. Curiosity, that small, dangerous spark, took over. He opened it. Inside were black and white photographs, strange diagrams of the human brain, and recordings labeled with code names like Project Miramind and Subject 47. Government seals, medical notes, psychological transcripts. The deeper he read, the colder the room seemed to grow. Every page described experiments on human perception. Attempts to rewrite memory, alter behavior, erase fear, even implant false beliefs. Elias realized these weren't Cold War leftovers. The reports were recent, current, and worse, ongoing. He began taking notes, recording what he found, cross-referencing dates and names. But each time he turned a page, he noticed something strange. The photographs seemed to change slightly. Faces blurred. Words shifted. As if the file itself didn't want to be read. He tried to stop. But it was too late. The last page contained a line that froze him. Those who access this file become part of it. For hours, Elias sat there, paralyzed, until the lights flickered off completely. Footsteps echoed in the hallway, slow and deliberate. He thought he was alone. He wasn't. By morning, his desk was empty. The folder was gone. And all that remained was a single note in his handwriting. The truth is alive. It watches whoever tries to uncover it. No one ever saw Elias again. But rumors spread. Some say the file he opened reappears every few years. In a different place, with a different name. Always waiting for someone else curious enough to open it. This is where the story begins. Not with what was found, but with what was meant to stay hidden. The truth buried in history. Truth has always had enemies. Not the kind you see, but the kind that decide what you're allowed to believe. For centuries, knowledge has been controlled, shaped, erased. From the burning of the Library of Alexandria to the quiet censorship of digital history today, the story of humanity is not just about what we've discovered, but what we've been forbidden to know. Every empire has its archives. Every government, its vault. And every vault hides something that was once too dangerous, too powerful, or too inconvenient to be seen. They say the past never dies. But the truth is, it's often buried alive, hidden beneath false documents, rewritten timelines, and official lies. Entire civilizations have vanished, not because they were conquered, but because someone decided they should be forgotten. Inside those secret archives lie the erased versions of history, evidence of experiments, lost technologies, and even contacts with entities that defied explanation. Projects that explored human consciousness, parallel realities, and methods of influence that blurred the line between psychology and control. Those who guarded these files claimed they were protecting humanity. But protecting it from what, or who? Secrecy, one declassified memo once read, is not a wall. It's a mirror. A mirror that shows not the truth, but the power of those who own it. When the printing press was invented, they said information would set humanity free. Instead, it gave birth to new kinds of control. When the internet came, they said knowledge would belong to everyone. But now, the truth is filtered by algorithms that decide which version of history survives. The keepers of secrets no longer wear uniforms or badges. They hide behind data, code, and the illusion of transparency. We like to think we're free, but freedom without truth is only another kind of prison. And somewhere, buried beneath centuries of lies, the same pattern repeats. Every time someone gets too close to the real story, they vanish. The documents disappear. The witnesses forget. Because the greatest weapon ever created was never a bomb or a virus or a machine. It was the control of knowledge. And if the truth can be buried, then history itself can be rewritten. The knowledge that burns those who touch it. There's a reason some truths are sealed away, not because they're false, but because they're too real for the human mind to survive. Every age has its forbidden knowledge, books, rituals, experiments, pieces of information that didn't just change what people believed, but who they became after knowing it. Elias Moret wasn't the first. Others before him had looked too deeply into what wasn't meant to be seen. Historians who uncovered lost languages that spoke of unseen forces. Scientists who recorded voices that didn't belong to this world. Psychologists who studied dreams that spread like a virus. All of them shared the same fate. A quiet unraveling. They stopped sleeping. They started hearing echoes, whispers that no one else could hear. They wrote in symbols instead of words. Some burned their notes. Others vanished completely. The mind, one of them wrote, is not built to carry the full weight of the truth. The human brain is a fragile engine. Feed it too much of what reality truly is, and it begins to fracture. In one of the recovered transcripts from Project Mirrormind, a subject described seeing layers behind everyday life, as if the world was just a thin film, and beneath it, something else was moving, something vast and aware. When asked what it was, he replied, "It's the thing that watches us learn." Within days, he lost all sense of identity. He stopped answering to his own name. He called himself Observer Zero. The experiment was shut down, but the researcher's notes ended with a chilling sentence. Exposure to the truth results in cognitive corrosion. The self dissolves. Maybe that's why Elias disappeared. Maybe he didn't die. Maybe he simply became part of what he discovered. Because forbidden knowledge doesn't kill instantly. It infects slowly, like a virus that starts in the mind and spreads to the soul. And once you see what cannot be unseen, there's no return to the comfort of ignorance. Some say the real danger of secrets is not who hides them, but who tries to understand them. Because once you open the door, the truth doesn't just reveal itself, it looks back. And for those who dare to look too deeply, the truth doesn't set them free, it consumes them. The system of silence. Silence is not the absence of truth. It's the weapon used to control it. For centuries, those who ruled understood a simple equation. Control information, control reality. What people cannot question, they learn to obey. Governments call it national security. Corporations call it proprietary data. Religions call it divine mystery. But behind every name, the purpose is the same: to keep you from seeing what they see. From the Inquisition's forbidden books to Cold War propaganda and modern algorithms, the methods changed, but the intent never did. Today, censorship doesn't burn pages. It buries them beneath a flood of noise. You don't silence truth by erasing it. You drown it in distraction. The perfect lie, a psychological report once stated, is one that hides inside the truth. Elias Moret discovered files that revealed this structure long before it had a name. He found memos describing perception architecture, a coordinated system of filtering human belief through media, data, and culture. The documents claimed it wasn't about hiding information. It was about shaping perception so effectively that people would no longer seek the truth at all. They wouldn't need guards or guns. They'd build their own cages. In one file, Elias highlighted a phrase in red ink: "Those who control the narrative control the memory." History was not being recorded. It was being engineered. Entire events rewritten. Scientists discredited. Evidence altered. Until only one version of reality remained. The official one. The system of silence doesn't look like a dictatorship. It looks like convenience. A search engine that decides what you can find. A social feed that predicts what you'll believe. A digital archive that deletes without warning. Truth has become programmable. And in a world where algorithms decide what's visible, ignorance is no longer an accident. It's a product. Elias tried to warn them, but the more he spoke, the quieter the world became around him. Friends stopped answering his calls. His reports vanished from the database. Even his ID record was deleted. He had been erased, not by bullets or prisons, but by silence itself. And that's how truth dies now. Not with fire, but with a whisper. Chapter 5: The Price of Curiosity. Curiosity, the spark that built civilizations and destroyed them. It was curiosity that made Elias Moret open the folder marked "Do Not Open." It was curiosity that made him vanish. And it's curiosity that still pulls us closer to the edge of a truth we may not survive. We believe knowledge sets us free, but freedom without understanding is just another form of captivity. Some truths are not meant to liberate us. They're meant to redefine us. Once you've seen the hidden gears that move the world, you can't unsee them. The illusion breaks, and so does something inside you. Researchers who studied forbidden archives reported the same symptoms: paranoia, disconnection, obsession. They described feeling watched, not by people, but by the information itself, as if the truth were alive, as if it feeds on awareness. One scientist wrote before disappearing, "The more we study it, the more it studies us." Elias understood this too late. In his final note, found weeks after he vanished, he wrote, "Knowledge is a door that never closes. Once opened, it turns the mind inside out." He realized that truth is not just information. It's energy, and the human mind was never built to hold it all. The deeper he went, the more reality began to dissolve around him. Memories shifting, time fracturing, faces fading into static, until only one thing remained: the silence of understanding too much. Maybe the reason some archives are sealed is not to protect the powerful, but to protect us from ourselves. Because once you read what you were never meant to read, you stop being who you were. You become part of the story, another file in the system. Elias Moret was searching for the truth, but what he found was something older, a truth that doesn't want to be known. And maybe that's the real warning hidden in his final words. Those who read the forbidden never think the same way again. The archive still exists, somewhere, hidden in encrypted servers, sealed rooms, forgotten vaults, waiting. And if one day you find it, ask yourself before you open it, are you sure you want to know? Because the truth never disappears. It only waits for someone curious enough to look. Conclusion: the truth that never dies. The story of Elias Moret was never about one man. It was about all of us. Every generation has its forbidden files, its hidden truths, its unanswered questions. And every time someone gets too close to the truth, the system resets itself. The documents vanish. The witnesses disappear. The world moves on, pretending it never happened. But the truth doesn't die. It waits. We've been taught to fear the unknown, to trust the official version, to believe that silence means safety. But silence is not safety. It's surrender. Because the moment truth becomes dangerous is the moment it becomes necessary. Maybe Elias was right. Maybe the truth isn't for everyone. Maybe it was never meant to be. But every secret has an expiration date, and every lie eventually turns to dust. The truth can be buried, but it cannot be destroyed. Somewhere, locked behind digital firewalls, or hidden in ancient vaults beneath government buildings, the archives still pulse, alive, waiting, whispering to whoever dares to search again. And one day, someone will. Another archivist, another seeker, another name we'll never know. And when they open that file, the story will begin again. Because history is not what we are told. It's what we were never meant to find. You've just heard one of many. The next file is already waiting. Are you ready to open it? This was The Secret Files That Were Never Meant to Be Read, from the series Historias Secretas e Fatos Ocultos. Next episode: The Mind Experiments the World Tried to Erase. Subscribe if you have the courage to see what was meant to stay hidden.